Hey guys, welcome to my channel and welcome to today's video. My name is Rebecca, and if you're new here, I post videos all about luxury and lifestyle. So if you're into that kind of content, then definitely hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of my future videos. And in today's video, I'm going to be going over my first impression review on the Louis Vuitton Neverfull GM. And I'm also going to be showing you the organizer that I got for it and kind of giving my first impressions on that as well. In this video, I'm also going to show you a very up-close look at the bag, some modeling shots, as well as what you can fit in this bag. So if any of that interests you, then just keep on watching. Alright, so I did actually get this bag a couple months ago. This is an early graduation / birthday present from my mom. It's so big I can't even fit it in the frame. And I have wanted the Neverfull GM for so long, and I finally, since I was graduating with my master's this year, I'm graduating in August, I thought it would, my mom got this for me as like a graduation birthday gift since this is a very big milestone. And I did end up getting it early because I actually wanted to use it for travel earlier in the year, but I didn't. I've actually only used this bag like twice just to bring it to work, and I will say I did get a little mark on it, which now that I'm looking at it though, I can't find the mark. So I don't know what happened to it because I never was able to get it off when I found it, and now I'm not seeing it. But I really wanted to go with the Azure print because number one, I don't have a bag in this color at this point. I did want the Damier Ebene version of this, but I already have two Damier Ebene bags. And the other thing was, I know that this leather I think is going to wear better than what I've seen of the Damier Ebene in the GM size. I wanted something that was going to get nice and soft, and since I own a Neverfull MM in monogram with Vachetta, I know that the Vachetta will soften up and just be really malleable. Now, I will say one thing that has kind of turned me off to using this bag right now is that it is very stiff. And of course, I know it will soften up with use, but it's like getting myself to use it is a little bit tricky. Now, I will say that this bag does also come with a removable pouch. However, I did end up selling mine so I could fund my toiletry 25, put that towards it. From owning my Neverfull MM, I ended up selling that wristlet as well. It just isn't something that's practical for me, so I figured I'd rather buy something that, I actually would want to use, which I did. So I also have had a little bit of a journey with the organizers for this bag. I ended up trying to get the GM version of the one I bought on Amazon for my Neverfull MM, but it just didn't fit. It was literally like the same size as my MM, even though I got a bigger size that said it was for the GM. So I ended up going ahead and ordering an organizer from Original Club. There's Samorga, Zumoni, and Original Club. Those are the three that mainly do the organizers. However, I will say I'm not super in love with this either, and you'll see in the modeling shots how stiff this makes the bag, whereas with my Neverfull MM, that organizer is very I guess it's more malleable, even though it's also felt. I feel like I don't have that boxy issue with the Neverfull MM like I am having with this. Now, of course, again, I have not used this actually out in the world yet. I've been meaning to switch into this for work, but I keep using my other bags and using my Longchamp for my work computer and stuff. But I really do want to start getting some use out of this. That way, when I do have some upcoming travel, I will be able to use this bag and it will be a little bit more comfortable. I am terrified of it getting dirty, and I have debated doing the Carbon Pro on the canvas, but I have not really found a video of anybody doing it on the Azure canvas. So I'm really nervous, and I would love to protect the bag with it if that's something that actually works, but I'm really scared because I don't want to ruin the bag. So just to give you a little bit of details on the organizer, I will link it down below, but again, I'm not recommending it yet because I don't know how I feel about it since I haven't actually used it. But this one does have a little slip pocket for an iPad, which I did want that because when I travel, I do usually bring my iPad for movies and stuff. Then I also like that it has two slots for a water bottle. However, if you notice, it does go all the way to the bottom. It doesn't close, so it's just a straight down little slot, which It is fine for putting water bottles in. I mean, obviously, like, you can't put little items there because it's just going to fall to the bottom, but for water bottles, it's fine. And then it also has 6 little slip pockets. So it has 3 on this side and 3 on the other side, and that is it. I will say this is very stiff compared to how my Neverfull organizer feels. I genuinely wish the GM version of the one I bought on Amazon would have worked, but it was not the right size. Even this seems small for it, but it's not. It actually is like the right size. You just have a little bit of extra width on the bag because of the way it like tapers out. But yeah, so I can't say that I'm totally like recommend this yet because I haven't actually used it. I will of course do an update video on this bag and organizer down the road once I finally start using it more. And you know, part of me like didn't want to totally use it too much yet because it is a graduation gift and I haven't graduated yet. So it's like I kind of want to like have that newness feeling when I actually graduate. But I ended up going for the rose ballerine interior because I'm just obsessed with the azure and the rose ballerine. I did debate on getting the beige, but ultimately I went with the rose ballerine because I think it is so pretty. Now, one thing I will say that I have noticed compared to my Neverfull and maybe I'm crazy, but I feel like the piping along the bottom, it's, I don't know how to explain it. It's a little bit more, makes the bag like sit a little bit odd. Now, I will say I had seen this bag, they had one in store, and when I tell you that was the worst craftsmanship I had ever seen, I couldn't even get it to like shape right. And my SA, which normally he's very good, but in this instance he was like, oh, you know, they're not going to be perfect, that's normal. And I'm thinking, that's not normal because I have an and there's just no way you're going to tell me that this is normal. Like I said, I couldn't even get the bag to like sit properly. And as you can see, like you can tell that the fold in is a little bit more prominent. It almost seems like they needed to move the piping out just a hair. But honestly, I think it's fine. And I think with use, when this gets a little bit more slouchy, it'll be totally fine. And I also do intend to do a comparison on this to my Neverfull MM. So definitely let me know if that's something you want to see. And I will definitely film that in the future. But okay, so now what I want to do is put some items in it and kind of show you how that looks. I feel like that's going to be the most helpful. And again, the main reason I wanted this was for travel and for work. I figured this would be great to be able to fit like my work laptop, my work binder, a lunchbox, my normal essentials, and then for travel, it could easily fit like my toiletry bag, the other stuff that I usually like to have access to, a sweater. I feel like this is perfect for that. So let me go ahead and try to switch the angling so you can actually see me put things in this. So since this is such a big bag, it is a little bit difficult to try to get everything in frame, but I'm going to do my best. So what I want to do, I am actually using my laptop for audio at this point, so I don't want to put that in here, but obviously a 13-inch MacBook will fit in this no problem. So I'm going to show you the items without the organizer first, and then we'll do it with the organizer. So we're going to go ahead and stick in my iPad. I also have a relatively like thick book. Oops. I know you can't really see it at the moment. There it is. Then let's go ahead and stick in my GM agenda. Now, I don't really carry this around with me, but I do want to show you that you can. Now, I will say not having an organizer in these bags, since they are just like an open tote, the things do want to fall down. So let me try to show you how they're looking so far. So there's the iPad, the book, and the agenda. Now, as soon as I set the bag down, they just want to tilt. So, you know, I'm gonna put my items in and then show you. So we have my toiletry 15, my Chanel card holder, my PM agenda, 6 key, the key clay, face mask, a mini hairbrush, a lotion. We'll stick my phone in just for good measure, and we'll stick my like pencil pouch. Okay, so now let me try to show you. It's really hard to demonstrate. So this is everything in here, and there's still tons of room. But again, one of the cons and one of the main reasons I did really try to find an organizer was because when I had stuck all my items in this, I just hated how they flopped around. Now I don't have that problem so much with the Neverfull MM because, I'm trying to get in frame here, I don't have that issue with the Neverfull MM because it is smaller, so once you put in like several items, you don't really have to worry about things falling down, whereas with this, if you don't have this like packed to the brim, things are going to fall over. So, but and again, this is heavy. Like this is not, you have your GM agenda, a book, an iPad, like all these things make the bag very, very heavy. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and take all these items out and put them in with the organizer, and I will go ahead and show you how that looks. Okay, so I did go ahead and put all the items in with the organizer, and while the bag is a little bit boxy, like I don't know, I'm trying to show you, as you can see, like, so here's where the organizer stops. So it's not horrible, but you're also not going to be able to cinch in the sides having the organizer in, which is fine. I don't really intend to cinch the sides too much. And of course, once this bag does get a little bit more like flimsy, the sides will kind of cinch a little bit anyway. But I'm also going to insert an up-close clip so you can see the inside. I will say the organizer does take up more room. Like I'm pretty much at max capacity aside from like a water bottle and maybe tossing a sweater on top. So, but I am much more happy with how everything is sitting in here with the organizer compared to without. Without it, I think it would drive me nuts. I just wouldn't be able to do it. So let me go ahead and show you guys up close what we're working with on the inside. I have everything organized into the little slip pockets. So I have like my lotion, my card holder, my key clay. I have a pack of gum, my 6 key. I have all these things in the little slip pockets. Now I could keep like my keys, maybe tuck it down on the side. Like I don't need that to be in a slip pocket, but it is nice to be able to slide my card holder down into that little pocket like that. And I still do have this whole pocket if I wanted to put something in. And again, I could fit a water bottle, which actually I have one here. I could go ahead and fit a water bottle down in there, no problem. So overall, this holds everything I would need. Now, like I said, I don't really bring my GM agenda around, so I'd be able to fit something else if I wanted to. And again, I could just stick a sweater on top, which would be perfect for travel because I always bring a jacket when I travel because I'm always cold. And I love how this has the iPad slip, so that's out of the way and not just fumbling around in there. And again, you can of course fit a laptop in here too. I will say a 13-inch is probably the most you'd be able to fit inside of the organizer, but if you didn't have an organizer, you could definitely fit a 15, no problem. So yeah, that is everything that fits. Alright, so I know that wasn't like the best what fits. Where I'm filming, it's a little bit difficult to try to like have you be able to see in. I will maybe try in the future if you guys want to do like a better, maybe I can find a different setting, but I feel like you get the gist of the things that can fit in here. Obviously, space is really not an issue in a bag of this size. Now, I will say another reason that I really wanted the organizer was because I already have a stain on the lining, on the inside, on the bottom. I don't know what the heck it came from. Like I said, I've only used this bag like twice, so I have no idea where that little spot came from. It must have been from something that I put in there, and I was a little upset about it, but it's a light colored bag on the inside and the outside, so obviously if that's something that's really going to bother you, number one, get an organizer before you do anything with it, or just opt for a darker version of this. You could get the Damier Ben with the red, or the Monogram has a couple different darker interior options, but the interior doesn't bother me like as much because inevitably it's going to get a little bit dirty, and I'm sure I could try to clean it, but I'm just too scared to like try anything on this bag or any luxury, I'm just too nervous to try anything on my luxury bags because, Louis Vuitton says not to treat the bags, not to do anything like that, so it just makes me nervous. But I know people have had success cleaning the interior, but for now, I'm just going to leave it. It's like one little small spot. It's not the end of the world, and, like I said, I want to use the bag, so it is what it is. Now, I do have to say, I actually don't feel like I'm in love with this in the way I thought I was going to be. Now again, I think part of that does have to do with the fact that it's so stiff at the moment, and I've used my Neverfull for so long, and I don't have to worry about the stiffness. It's so like, it's funny, it's like night and day different compared to this one because it's just so slouchy and so like soft, and this one just isn't there yet, but I do intend to be using it in the next couple of months, especially like once I actually graduate and feel like, this is like my gift for that. So, and I do intend to actually use it on travel that I have at the end of this year. So we'll see. I am a little bit nervous, but I do want to use the bag for what I got it for, and I don't want to be scared. And the thing with the canvas is you can just take like a water wipe and wipe it down, which that's actually probably what I will do is get a pack of water wipes to keep with me, so that way like when we get off the plane and we get to where we're going, I can wipe it down and just keep it clean that way versus like letting things sit on it. But if you guys have any experience with Carbon Pro on the Damier Azur, please let me know because I would definitely be interested at least to do it on the bottom of the bag, since that is what would go under the seat in front of me. It would go on the conveyor belt, at security. So I would like to know like if it works. I'm just so scared to try it, but I really would love to have that barrier protection. So if you guys have any experience with that, definitely let me know. But of course, the other thing with this bag that you have to be mindful of is that the Vachetta leather does get water spots if you don't treat it. There are people that treat it. I have not done that. My Neverfull has the spots. It's not the end of the world. Obviously, if I know it's raining, I don't use that bag. But sometimes you inevitably get stuck in the rain, especially back when that was my only luxury bag. I used that thing day in and day out. So, it got a little bit of rain on it at certain times. So, but it's not a big deal. It's patinaed very nicely, and I don't really even notice the spots. But if that's something that bothers you, then maybe don't get the Vachetta version. Get the Damier Ebene with the treated leather, so you don't have to worry about that. But yeah, so that is pretty much all I really wanted to do in this like first impressions. I just wanted to show you what fits, show you some modeling shots, and give you like my first impressions on it. Obviously, I need to use it longer so I can give you an actual thorough review. I don't want to say that I recommend this or, anything like that until I've actually gotten to use it. Now, of course, if you like the Neverfull already, I believe that if you have an I believe you probably will like this bag. Now, the other thing is, I know I'm only 5'2", and this bag does look big on me. There's just no way around that. But again, it is a bigger bag and it serves a purpose. Now, this is not like my errand bag. Yeah, I did actually wear it out one of the times that I did use it was for errands, and it just felt so big. Now, if you're going shopping and you want to have something that you can like put your shopping bags in, then that would be a good option. And being able to cinch the sides when you don't have the organizer in definitely does make a difference. And as you see in the modeling shots, I show you what it looks like cinched, and it basically looks like the size of the Neverfull So if you like that cinched look, which in my opinion, the cinching looks good on the GM and I hate it on the I think the is too small for the cinching in my personal opinion, but of course if you like that, then they made it that way for a reason, so people obviously like it. But I do think on the GM it just looks a lot better because the bag is bigger, so it basically just cinches it down to make it look like a Neverfull almost. So there is that option, but of course it is a big bag, there's no denying that. Let me actually tell you what the dimensions are from the website. So this bag does retail for $1,620 US before tax. So it is definitely pricey, but I will say if you do sell the pouch, you can get a few $100s back. So if you look at it that way, you are spending a little bit less. So this bag is 15.4 in length, 12.6 inches in height, and 7.5 inches in width. So it definitely is a big bag. Like I said, there's no denying that, no way around that. It's a big bag. But of course, like I mentioned a couple times already, it has its purpose. All the different size bags have their purpose in one's collection, My crossbody bags serve a purpose. My tote bags serve a purpose. So it's not like you can't find a use for this. And if you're somebody that goes into the office and carries a lot of things, this is definitely going to be a good workhorse bag. I believe my Neverfull has held up beautifully, and When I first got that, I was using it to death. I was going to work. I was going back and forth between my boyfriend's house. So it saw so much use and it still looks amazing. So these bags are workhorses, especially being canvas like they are. So overall, I think I will recommend the bag, but of course I have to do a little bit more wearing and use before I can say like, yes, I 100% recommend this, or I want to be able to use it and give a better idea of who I recommend this for. So anyway guys, I will keep this video relatively brief. I will insert mod shots and an up close look at this bag, that way you can see that. So stay tuned for that after this little outro. But I thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe before you go, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.